For nearly 20 years now, I've depended on tool watches for my travels as a nature photographer. All fell just a little bit short, but now I think I've discovered the ultimate tool watch. Now, before we get started, I just want to ensure everybody this is not a sponsored video. I'm actually in a remote cabin in the woods here, and this is just kind of a rinky-dinky studio setup, as you can see. But let's jump into it. Now, what makes a great tool watch? In my mind, the watch needs to be tough, durable, extremely accurate in all conditions, comfortable and easy to wear, and ready for anything at any time. Now, not only does the Rolex Explorer II, reference number 226570, the 50th anniversary, meet all that criteria, it exceeds it. Now, I'm not saying the Explorer II is the toughest, most robust watch on the market today. That would probably go to the G-Shocks or other adventure watches. But I do, however, believe the Explorer II is tough enough and by far more durable than most adventure watches on the market today. The Rolex Explorer II is designed and built to be dropped from a meter high onto a hard surface without breaking or losing accuracy. Yes, the G-Shock and other adventure watches are meant to do more than that, but they're not nearly as durable as the Explorer II. And what I mean by that is, adventure watches on the market today, most of them, are not designed to be extremely durable in the way of long term. 4, 5, maybe 6 years down the line, that adventure watch is going to have to be replaced. The Rolex Explorer II isn't due for its first service until year 10 of ownership. And I love that idea, that romanticism of it, that if I take care of this watch, it'll last for decades upon decades, and I can pass it down to the future generation to use it how I'm using it now. The Rolex Explorer II is an extremely tough mechanical watch. High performance lubrication designed and created by Rolex to help keep extreme accuracy in extremely varying temperatures. An anti-magnetic parachrome hairspring, which helps with shock resistance, as well as it's very nice when you're traveling in and out of airports, metal detectors, being scanned all the time. It allows for the watch to not lose accuracy. And since the Explorer II is an automatic winding mechanical watch, which means it just charges itself by my motion, and I think imperative for a good tool watch, just in the way that a quartz movement or a rechargeable battery requires more gear and battery changes. And sometimes the lifespan of the battery is so unpredictable, especially in extremely cold temperatures. And with my photography, I find myself out on location for sometimes months at a time, and I cannot afford to have my watch battery die. But that's not an issue with the Explorer II. A great tool watch needs to be extremely, extremely accurate. Explorer II is rated and certified to plus minus 2 seconds a day. And now I can say after wearing it for 3 months, this watch is a half second off each day, which is absolutely incredible for a mechanical watch. Now this is where form and function start to show itself. It's not only extremely accurate, but it also has this gorgeous orange GMT hand that matches the beautiful orange print on the watch face. And that has been vital for running a business, usually in a different time zone. As my gallery is located in Laguna Beach, California, and I often find myself in very remote locations, nowhere near the Pacific coast. I think this is such a fun, durable, good-looking watch with that hard edge, but also too, this watch is a little silly, kind of endearing itself to me. They use white gold on the dial here for its anti-corrosive properties, but then they paint it black. Why use white gold on the hands and the hour markers? White gold is meant to show off, but then they paint it black. It's kind of silly. But I like that. This beautiful, beautiful white dial with anti-corrosive white gold as the markers and hands with amazing lume capability, then covered with a black for easy legibility. It makes the watch more endearing. Being comfortable and easy to wear is so important in a tool watch. And this is why I've selected the Explorer II over a diving watch. It's thinner, sleeker, and smoother than most dive watches. And where I lose a little bit of water resistance, I'm still completely happy with 100 meters of water resistance on the Explorer II. That still means I can go swimming in lakes, rivers, surfing, as well as doing some light scuba diving. A worthwhile exchange, as I find most divers a little bit bulkier, and I really don't like the serrated or toothed bezels. The smooth bezel of the Explorer II allows me to remove jackets and coats very easily to see the time. Whereas as you can see here, when I took out my Planet Ocean Omega, the teeth of the bezel kept digging into my jacket, which kept getting caught, tearing up the jacket. So for my needs, the Explorer II is better designed and equipped, making this watch very comfortable in all conditions. Adding to the wearability and comfortableness of this watch, the Oyster Steel bracelet, made with anti-corrosive properties to withstand salt water and sweat. I personally like the larger size of this watch, the 42mm maxi case. It adds to the legibility of the watch, as well as making it feel like a real instrument, a tool on the wrist. The beautifully smooth brushed bezel here, 24-hour bezel, I'm so glad they kept it metal and didn't go to ceramic. Ceramic can break, metal can only scratch or dent. And I am so looking forward to in 20, 30, maybe even 40 years down the line, looking at this watch and looking at all the scratches and dents and just remembering and reminiscing about the times, the places, the locations where where those memories happened. Now this does need to be mentioned. I hope for me it never comes to this, but the resale value of the watch. Most likely I can wear this watch for decades, beat the heck out of it, and sell it for more than I paid for it. Now I'm not sure if that's part of being a great tool watch, but I definitely think it does need to be mentioned. Now this whole video I've been talking about why I think the Rolex Explorer II is such a great tool watch. Here's why I think it's the ultimate tool watch. I can wear this watch on the windswept deserts of 130 degrees. I could take this watch to the lush, dark jungles. I can wear this watch as I hike through sub-zero temperatures. But also, I can wear this watch to a gallery unveiling, a high-end event, maybe a dinner at a special restaurant. That's why the Rolex Explorer II is the ultimate tool watch to me. It just doesn't have a weak point. It thrives in any environment. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Cheers.